the perception of things like timing and stuff. Like we have debit machines at the bakery, and they're so slow, and they're amazingly slow, and they're bright, and they're not good. They're not good at all. But I have reference of the ones that we had before this to know how a really efficient, simple, like there's no bright screen or anything, there's just like the clean buttons, everybody knows exactly what to do, etc. To know like how good a debit machine could be. And then these new ones have so many extra buttons, it's touch screen, it's bright, nobody knows how it works, it doesn't register things half the time, it beeps randomly and people are like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It is such a disaster. It's like high-end technology, ooh, fancy machine, and then the person has to try like 3 times. Like there's not a single person that can just do it once and it works the first time. And even if it's like everything runs perfectly smoothly, like for one checkout or one, whatever it is, it takes forever. And that type of reference point, like even me mentioning to our boss, like it's really bright. They didn't even notice until I mentioned it how freaking bright it was. Like it lit up the roof, and then they turned it down. It's still bright by my standards, but like for other people, it might be just natural because they look at bright phones all the time and have like white displays on every program and every app or whatever they look at, and to them it's just natural. So like those types of things, that is entirely subjective and meaning perception, meaning part of like one's own experience in life, meaning the human condition or whatever you call it. Like it's so exclusively that person, and then another person and another person, and like that's just the brightness of what people look at throughout the day. And then if you look at throughout the day, you can point out, like if you just sat there from first thing in the morning, how quickly a person gets out of bed, how a person grips the doorknob when they open the door to get out of their room first thing in the morning. Like every single little detail along the whole step of life, you could count, if you just waited through somebody's actual day, a million things that person does exclusively the way they do it, combined with all the other million things. And you'll have to, like, somebody in the world somewhere has a similar arrangement of those million things, but it's not going to be anywhere close to them. And every single person does that, and that's just like a morning routine. Like, we are so incredibly different. And, yeah.
The interesting thing about if you were to jump into someone else's body, and you like, have the drug trip experience, and that'd probably just be consistent throughout the whole thing, but it'd be also like you go to open the door knob or something, and you would be fighting maybe the way that the person that you're in would naturally want to do it. So you would find your hand like trying to do something that
your hand is just like
you're not used to at all, and
their hand is just like naturally accustomed and not like when it reaches forward, the muscles on the thumb are just like a little weaker because they usually turn their hand more when they open and grab the doorknob the first time. It's just like that little subtle thing. It's like, why does it take so much energy to open a door? And it's like just because when the person reaches forward like this to grab doors, their hand is usually more rotated and you're not, so your thumb feels tired. Yeah. Like just stupid things like that all over the place. And you wouldn't really notice. You'd just be like, that was awkward, that was awkward, this was awkward. By the end it was like, I am so exhausted. Yeah. Just because I'm doing the things that I would normally perceive and mentally operate with. I'm just trying to function. I'm just trying to operate this new body and mind. It's not working. And then you'd randomly end up in somebody's body that's like so much more efficient in some ways and not other ways or something. Like, yeah, like somebody who's, if you hopped into a left-handed person, right-handed person, like my right arm is stronger than my left arm. Swap into like a left-handed person's body and their left arm is now like it feels lighter or something. Yeah. Like, what is going on? Let alone like everything else. Like literally everything will be off that much like that to the whole point. To like the whole point is that it'll just feel like a complete like beyond dream-like. Like there's no vivid, lucid dream about living a life as a caterpillar or something that can match what it would be like to just be in another person's body for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every single little thing from all those little nuances all combined at once to the point where not a single cell on the body feels like it's not in a dream.
Yeah. And to have the familiarity with the human body, even though it would be so different in every single way, rather than being a caterpillar or something where it's like there's no translatable,
there's no reference point,
context.
Yeah, and then so there's like the expectation of what should be going on is going to be so far off because it's like, okay, that makes sense because I'm a caterpillar.
Yeah.
We're just being like, I have a hand. Why is my hand like a weird dream, and it feels like I have 8 different gloves on at the same time with all the weird sensations going on, and it can't move properly. And and then when you're talking about like the perception of that's just body, let alone mind, let alone what you could do with your own body and mind, like how drastically people can change so fast, like spontaneous healing and stuff happens. It's like if that can happen, that somebody can go from like in a completely shambled state to completely healthy in a week from some weird acceptance of life flowing through them and the willingness to change, and like bam, suddenly like their entire mind and body is transformed. Imagine what we could do if we didn't have to go to that level to have that transformation, but we could just be like, I want to transform into something so different, mind and body, where it's opening up to this framework that I don't even know is possible. And to develop that talent, to live in a world where that skill and natural ability is like a regular phenomenon, would be so freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone is just walking around and be like, I want to be like really, really good at like enjoying the moment when I'm outside in the garden. And they just do that. And then like I just want to like be really, really put my head down, get to work ethic, whatever, to dig up this whole garden. And then go back to enjoying the moment after and be like, what else is here? And be like, whoa, these bugs are so cool. To have that as a flowing way of life.
Yeah. I mean, real learning.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it is.
It's like a state of perpetual learning.
Yeah. Non-mechanical learning.